What's up, VC? What's up, vinyl community? It's Dan, the Vinyl Geezer, hanging out with you for at least one more video, as we're just doing some vinyl finds and recent purchases. Alright, occasionally, and when I say occasionally, what I mean is, more often than I'd like to admit, I will record an entire video without my microphone on. And that just happened. So, 20 minutes of a video I just made. I was just checking the sound levels, making sure everything was good, and getting ready to upload it. And bam! Pow! Hit in the face. Yeah, no sound. So, with no further ado, let's get into some vinyl finds on a Friday night. Hopefully you guys are doing great. Hopefully you guys are having a little better day than I am, but hey, we're heading into the weekend. What are we going to complain about, right? So just thought I'd do a vinyl finds video. I haven't done one of those in a while, and if I had shown any of these in a previous video, please forgive me. And as you know, it's been a long time since I've done a vinyl finds, and I didn't go back and look at any recent ones. I do believe that one of them that I had selected for this vinyl finds video I had already shown, and that was this Metallica Creeping Death. In case you haven't seen it, yeah, this is a new vinyl find that I had. Over the past, 6 to 8 months. Music for Nations, Creeping Death, Am I Evil, Blitzkrieg on 45 RPM. Word to the wise, if you're going to pick this up, it is cut quite hot, and there is some intergroove distortion on Creeping Death. Not so much in Blitzkrieg or Am I Evil, but for Creeping Death there certainly is. And it could just be that there was some groove wear or something at the end of that. So I don't know if this is something that is common, but it is cut hot at that 45. It sounds really aggressive, though. It's really cool. Nice. I always love to have, like, Metallica stuff like this. So anyway, Metallica video coming later this month, meaning April. So, but anyway, so stay tuned for that. All right. So, if I had shown that one previously, apologies. I don't think I had shown this one. I'm on vacation in Santa Fe, and I'm doing record shopping, and I didn't find this in Santa Fe. Actually, I was like on Facebook, and I saw that a local shop here in Missouri had this, and I promptly emailed the guy, and I was like, "Hey, can you hold this for me?" He's like, "Sure thing." So this is Tool. Lollapalooza in Texas, Dallas broadcast 1993. Fun fact, I was at Lollapalooza 93, but not in Dallas. I was in St. Louis, and I actually saw Tool perform 2 songs before I got way overheated, and there was a band called Arrested Development that were playing Lollapalooza that I really wanted to see. For the longest time, I regretted not watching Tool. Tool was brand new. I had no idea these guys. I did realize that I liked what I was hearing, but it was blistering hot. It was on pavement, and it was uncomfortable, and the sun was beating down, and the black pavement was just like, that asphalt was like right in your, it was pretty uncomfortable. So yeah, but I got to see Arrested Development, which was an amazing show. I don't know if you guys experienced that in Lollapalooza 93. But anyway, 30 years ago now. So first time I listened to this, I've listened to this once until today, and I was not very impressed with the audio. And as you realize, this is from the board, probably cut onto a reel-to-reel in somebody's radio station, or maybe even recorded on a cassette. It doesn't sound bad after your ears kind of adjust and they kind of make some changes on the board, obviously. So Tool, 1993. If you're a Tool fan and you especially love like their first couple of records, Opiate and Undertow, this is a must-have. So, yeah, kind of a cool record. This came on a gray piece of vinyl. So, and it doesn't sound great, but it doesn't suck either. So, in the doesn't suck pile, I would put that one. It's not great, but it doesn't suck. Sticking with the heavy stuff, 1995. Well, heavier stuff. Deftones, or Deftones, as I like to call them, with Adrenaline. This is not a band that I own. This is the only album I own by them. I love Deftones, but honestly, I kind of burnt myself out on My Own Summer. Oh, Around the Fur. This is the name of that album, with My Own Summer on it. And White Pony. I kind of burnt myself out, and I just kind of stopped listening to Deftones. And then this popped up on my YouTube algorithm board one day, and I started jamming on guitar with it, and I was like, yeah, this is killer. I need this. And this was always one of my favorite records by them. I love Stephen's tone on this, Stephen Carpenter's tone. I'm not a huge fan of the tone, but it works for this record. I love it on this record. So yeah, Deftones, Adrenaline, 7 words, the song Bored, great stuff. Anyway, moving on, not completely changing gears here. 1997, Days of the New finally released this on vinyl. I've been waiting for this. I'm a huge Days of the New fan. I love their stuff, especially the Green and Red album. The Green album being probably my favorite, but this at a close second. Their debut with, it's Shelf in the Room, Touch, Peel, and Stand. The Downtown is on this. It's a great record, and music on vinyl really did this one great. It sounds phenomenal. It really does. Super quiet vinyl. I don't care what they used. If it was digital, if they used analog, which I don't know in 1997. I'm not sure if they recorded this analog or digital. I would probably say kind of it was on a DAT. I would imagine they recorded to that, but great stuff. Originally mastered by Bob Ludwig, and he's still in the credits on the Discogs version, so I'm not sure if they're using his mastering. But this sounds great. It's a no-brainer if you love Days of the New like I do. And yeah, just great stuff. Music on vinyl, really, really stepping it up lately. Especially like their newer stuff is sounding really, really good. And they're getting more expensive, I've noticed, here in the States. I think you guys over there across the pond, you guys are doing a little better than we are as far as getting those at a reasonable price. I remember you used to be able to get like music on vinyl stuff for like $25, but not anymore. But that's the way it's going, like kind of across the board, isn't it? So speaking of expensive records versus very inexpensive records, these next two I picked up, they don't have covers. I went to I go to an antique mall quite often, and I always check out, I check out even expensive priced people in antique malls. I know sometimes, you go and you're like, oh my gosh, are you people insane? I'm not giving $37 for, whipped cream and other delights. It's not going to happen. Beat up copy of some rando, Ray Conniff singers, $45. I mean, people, I'm not even exaggerating. I've seen ridiculous prices like that, but occasionally you do find some stuff that is really good for like a higher price, but it's like it's an Mo-Fi from the 70s, or a special cut, or like something very rare you'll find occasionally. And it helps to hit up, especially like the dealers that deal in vinyl. Occasionally they'll have stuff like no cover records for $1 a piece. And I picked up 2 REM records for $1 a piece. And I've got their self-titled album, the one with like the gargoyle on it. So yeah, it's like an EP. I think it's their first one. It's got like 4 or 5 songs on it. Not really familiar with this album. I've listened to it once, and I do like it. I love it. I'm somebody who I've always loved REM, but more like Green, Monster, and never really listened to like Document, which I did get that one as well for $1 without a cover. I knew that I liked the one I love, and It's the End of the World as we know it. I know I loved those 2 songs, but I never really listened to the rest of the album. I've spun this like 4 or 5 times. This is amazing sound. This is an amazing record. It's something that gets better every time I listen to it. And I didn't realize that I did know a song on here, the Finest Work song. Yeah, the first track on here. I was like, oh yeah, I know this song. Yeah. So, yeah, Document by REM for $1. I'll buy that for $1. No cover. It kind of sucks not having a cover, but, you know, you can't play the cover, guys, as my friend Brian at Brian's Vinyl Records says. Cannot play the cover. All right, moving on. Kind of in that, not really in that vein, but, I don't know, indie, kind of. This is an album, I want to say this came out like 2011, 2008, 2009, sometime around there. This is the Decemberists, and The King is Dead. It's the only album that I'm really familiar with them on. I know they were kind of popular about 10 years ago, and they just kind of disappeared, seems like. But this whole album is amazing. My wife and I had the CD. We wore that. We played that thing constantly, and then one day we're like, yeah, that's enough. But we probably listened to this album straight for like 6 months or 7 months. Don't Carry It All on here. Calamity Song. Just some great stuff. Whole album is good. The Decemberists, The King is Dead. Nice thick cardboard jacket here. It's a matte finish. I love a nice matte finish on records. I don't think there's enough matte finishes happening lately. I do like a gloss, but I also like a matte finish as well. All right. Yeah, I finally picked up a copy of this. I had it when I was a kid. I had the tape, and I loaned it. Well, I left it in my teacher's. I left it in my teacher's classroom, and I guess she took it home and lost it and bought the record and brought it to me at school in the 80s, and that was Michael Jackson's Thriller. And I did have this on vinyl a long time ago, and who knows what happened to that thing. Probably burned up in the fire. But, so yeah, Michael Jackson Thriller. This thing had started making some headlines last year because the whole MoFi gate. It kind of started with this record. And the 40th anniversary of this album being this year, and they're releasing, or was it last year? Was this 1982 or 1983? I don't know, guys. 1982, yeah, it was the 40th anniversary, and MoFi was going to do one step, and that whole MoFi gate, just look up MoFi gate. And it kind of re-piqued my interest in this record that I haven't listened to in a very long time, and I finally saw a really nice copy of it, and just great. It's great. It's a great record. It's very disco-y, very dancey. My favorite tracks on here being Human Nature and Beat It, of course. You can't beat the Eddie Van Halen guitar solo and the great guitar tones that Steve Lukather made in this record. So yeah, Michael Jackson's Thriller. It's killer. Killer stuff. And no need to have a MoFi one-step, virgin vinyl, whatever. This thing sounds absolutely fantastic. So unless you just got to have that band across your records, I know some people really used to stress over that band. They've stressed a lot about that band. Although that one, that Dire Straits, was recorded digitally anyway, and it sounds friggin' awesome. But yeah, Michael Jackson's Thriller. Finally added that to the collection. So, yeah, great stuff. It's Thriller. What can I say about Thriller? It hasn't been said a million times. So, the last two records that I got here. Is there two? Yeah, two records left. And this one, finally, got my paws on a copy of The Cure's Wish. This is part of the Rhino Start Your Ear Off Right 2023. This is the 30th anniversary of Wish that came out in 1992. This album was huge when it dropped, and they've done a great job. I remember only seeing an OG of this once at Twist and Shout in Denver, and it was like $300. There's no way I'm going to spend that on this record. So glad that they were doing this. Now if they'd only do Blood Flowers as a non-picture disc. Hint, hint. Let's get this done, guys. So yeah, The Cure's Wish. Yeah. I wished for it, and it happened, finally. And the next band is a bedfellow with The Cure in my collection. And that's these guys. Dave Gahan, Martin Gore, Depeche Mode, Memento Mori. Latest outing from them. Had to have this record. Was going to buy this record. Spent probably a little too much for this record. And this record. Prices are going up, guys. It's just the way it is. But, you know, Gen Xers like myself that absolutely need this because of all the nostalgia feels. And plus, I'm a huge Cure fan, if you've watched this channel. And a Depeche Mode fan, if you've watched this channel for any length of time. I can't shut up about those bands. Finally, very nice to have Wish by The Cure. And very nice to have this brand new Depeche Mode Memento Mori, which means remember death. And this nice tri-fold, as this is all really just a, it's just kind of like a tribute to Andy Fletcher, who we lost last year. Was it last year? Or was it 2021? I don't remember. Everything, you know, COVID just kind of came and it just kind of screwed everything up in my timeline. I have no idea. Was that 3 years ago? Was it yesterday? Who knows? Memento Mori. If you do buy this on vinyl, know that your standard sleeves are not going to fit this thing. It will not fit. It will fit this way, but it will not cover the top. So this is just becoming some artwork until I get bigger sleeve down the road that will fit this record. I don't feel like buying a whole bunch of bigger sleeves. Just one. I just need one. That's it. So yeah, Depeche Mode's Memento Mori. Hefty price tag at over $40, but also you get the tri-fold with the nice, you know, sleeves and all the artwork. And you also get a poster of Dave and Martin from Depeche Mode. Yeah. Dave Gahan and Martin Gore. Nice little poster there that you get tucked into that tri-fold. And also, you get a cool etching on this one. So, I'm going to pull this out here on... They've spread 50 minutes over 3 sides, and they give you an etching. So, I'll go ahead and show you that etching. And it's an etching of the cover, some of the cover art. And there is a Latin phrase here. And, you know, my Latin, I'm a little rusty on my Latin. It says, es ver malus. And I don't know... I read somewhere that is a Latin translation of what Andy Fletcher used to say at the end of every show that says, that wasn't that good. Or that was no good. Or something like that. And feel free to correct me in the comments below. But anyway, that's it. That's all we got. Second time around doing a Vinyl Finds video today. Hopefully that microphone is on. Because if it's not, I'm not doing this again. Anyway, so do me a favor. If you guys have made it this far, go ahead, like, subscribe, check out this video. This is one of my videos that is tailored for your watching. This is your algorithm right here, that video. And right here is a button if you haven't subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe it, okay? And keep digging them rekkids, all right? Peace out. I will see you guys later. I love you all. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.